So I was home today around midday and there was a sudden power cut. At the time I wasn't sure what was happening. Maybe it was just another JPS issue with the power grid. But then somebody called and said, "Hey, did you hear that the train fell in the river down in the gorge near the tunnel? Big traffic jam and the gorge is blocked?" I was like, "What?" So I was pretty close and I decided to grab some equipment and come check it out. So here I am. Well, look at this. The bauxite train is in quite a dilemma. It seems like a few cars somehow fell in the river. This is definitely a big deal. I mean, the train is definitely derailed. And this is a bauxite train that carries alumina from Ewarton to Port Esquivel. This is quite a scene, man. It seems like a couple of cars are in the river and God knows what else. Well, so far I heard that nobody died, so thank God for that. No casualties. But man, what is happening here? Okay, so over there on the main road, those guys seem like they are the JPS guys by all indication. Okay, so it seems like it's pure alumina and no oil, so the pollution might not be so bad. At least there's no indication that anything is changed in the color of the water or anything caustic going on here. But it seems like the engine is still at the mouth of the tunnel. And there are some guys over there on the road for real. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. But I heard some people saying, if the train is on the train line, how come the light got disconnected? Well, there's your answer. There's a big guy wire that stretches across the river to secure that tall utility pole right there. And then there's one to the right that's snapped. So obviously some of the debris and entanglement affected the point over here where it's anchored, and that somehow jolted the system over there and snapped that post. Maybe other posts around the corner are also damaged. I don't know, but that's how the light got disconnected. No two ways about it. Man, this is what you call a train wreck. Well, I know for a fact fishermen would come down to this part of the river and come over to this side and sit right here to try their luck at a good catch. Man, can you imagine if any of those guys were here? Oh boy. Okay, I definitely can't pass here, so let's go to the other side. Man, this line is trashed. It seems like something affected the system in the middle. The fact that the engine could pass and a few cars, so that went well. But after that, something definitely affected the track here and caused this part to give way. Boy, the place chaka chaka bad. What? The train wheel system decided against swimming today, man. Once the body fell off the chassis and the train jumped off the lines, the rest of the train stopped immediately. Well, that's a good thing. The friction definitely prevented the train from rolling over into the river. So that's definitely a good part. But somehow something here triggered all of this chaos. It's interesting that all of them fell on their tops with no extra rolling into the river. Well, only 3 cars fell overboard. I guess if they weren't able to detach quickly, then this is surely what you would call a chain reaction. Man. Boy, this piece of wall is still intact. No breakaway. This material on this wall is the same stuff they used to make flat bridge. The wall is firm like the rock of Gibraltar. Well, some serious restoration work and whatnot. I know those guys are already getting themselves ready and running up and down to get this monster back on track. Time to go see what's going on with those engines at the mouth of the tunnel. Okay, so there's a lot of JPS activity around the corner, so it seems like more issues are along the utility lines heading towards Kent's Village. Watch this. About 6 cars managed to come through and there are 3 engines. So that's interesting. This part of the train passed the affected areas without any issues. And then boom, something happened. Okay, so the JPS party is definitely around that corner. 2 utility trucks and lots of utility vehicles, so maybe some serious damage happened on the utility network around there. So many engines. I always wonder if all engines are operating at the same time when this big machine is in motion. Man, I can never get used to the cool temperature in the tunnel. 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, back in 2022, I did a tour through this tunnel. But then it was just a fun thing, and I wasn't even thinking about making a YouTube channel. But the experience was so amazing. It's on the channel, so you can watch it at the end of this video. Must have been quite a relief and an experience for the train driver to come this far after hearing all that commotion and destruction behind it. I tell you, God is good. Alright, there's no need to go any further, so it's back into the sunshine. Let's see, I wonder how long it's gonna take for those JPS guys to restore the electricity. And yet, how long will it take for the Bauxite company to fix this gigantic problem they have sitting here? Wait, there was a security guard around there all this time? Man, that guy is slick. No more guards. That man is brave. Okay, well, the big deal for me today is that there were no casualties, it seems. No loss of life. And that is definitely all that matters. This pile of junk can be replaced, and definitely the old iron can be fixed. So yeah, from this point going backwards, the line has opened and all the coaches are offline. Well, it's Alumina time. It's running out on the line. Alumina feels like baking soda. Runs through my fingers quickly. It's still very interesting that all the cars in the river fell on their tops. You would expect them to fall and roll and flick up, but you know, that's kind of interesting. What saved the train is that the cars detached quickly. If the system that connected them together was way more secure, then we would have a serious disaster with all the coaches being dragged overboard. The cars jumped off the line but sat right there. That's a good thing. There seems to be a good stabilization system. Bauxite company on one side and the JPS company on the other. I tell you, this problem definitely knows how to draw out the people. The JPS part looks pretty straightforward. Yep, they should be back up and running in a matter of hours. But over this side, man, they're going to have to get some cranes and all kinds of fandangles, I'm sure. By tomorrow, this entire place will be bustling with machinery and cranes and all kinds of things. Overtime work, people, overtime. Ozine, It sounds like they have another engine up there to come take back the cars that are good. Okay. Well, I think we've seen it all. Big train crash. Well, it didn't really crash, but you know, it smashed into the water. Perhaps somebody pushed it overboard. I don't know. But no loss of life, no casualties. A couple hours downtime with some utilities, and hopefully those guys get their operation back in order in short order. Yeah man, they have the money to do it.
Barely catch up on the line, this ain't it?
Yeah.
The wheel right this is. You might hit the road. Got the line wide out, don't it, sir? Man.
They can't go speed up.
Take time.
They turn over.
Yeah, jump off. Yes, sir.
Seems like those cars they retrieved, they left them at the Bog Walk railway station. But what else is there to go back for? Okay. Happy trails people, happy trails, and be safe. Alright, it's going to rain it seems, so time to get out of here. That's it for now. That's how the events happened today. A big bang and then a whoosh in the water, but life goes on. Alright peeps, all the best and take care. And definitely, thanks for watching.